Well, hello everybody and happy April! By the time you guys are seeing this video, you will have already seen the little bonus vlog that I decided I wanted to do very abruptly. We're officially done with the first 3 months or the first quarter of 2025, which feels like it's gone by really quickly, but at the same time has felt like we've been living at a snail's pace. Like, I don't know why. It somehow feels like we've both flown through the past 3 months, but at the same time, it's felt like it's also been inching by, if that makes any sense. Hard to explain, but anyways, I thought it would be fun to kind of do a video where every 3 or so months, each quarter of the year basically, we do a little check-in, talk about some things, update you guys on how I'm doing, you know, the whole shebang shaboom. So let's get into the video. I'm going to start off by saying I'm sorry for the lighting. I refuse to get out the ring light. I just cannot do it to myself right now. I don't feel like getting the ring light out, so I'm not doing it. I kind of have this video separated into 3 separate categories. I've got life, my YouTube, and reading updates. So in each of these 3 categories, we're just gonna chit chat. We're just gonna talk, tell you how everything's going, all that jazz. Cool? Cool. We're gonna start out with life because that seems the most quick to get through because there's not much for me to update you guys on. The biggest thing is that I feel like I've been applying for jobs like it is a job, which most people tell you to do when you are applying for a job is to really just make it your job, applying for jobs. I've come to a lot of roadblocks with some certain things, mostly being that I have very little experience outside of childcare. Truthfully, I have basically 0 experience outside of childcare, so not very appealing to people, but I have been trying my best. I'm hoping some of the places I've been applying to the most recently get back to me because a lot of them sound like they would be right up my alley. Other than that, not much has really been happening. We've been having lots and lots of birthday parties, birthday dinners, birthday celebrations. I feel like it's like every other weekend there's some birthday party or something that we're going to for an adult or a child, or like I feel like it's been birthday central the past couple of weeks around these parts. If you guys remember, at the end of February, the beginning of March, I uploaded a video where I packed and got ready to leave for a trip with you guys. And that was a trip down to Florida, which was so much fun. We're actually going to Florida again in a couple of weeks, and I am so excited. This time is going to be more for fun. Last time we went was more to visit family and just, you know, spend some time together. This upcoming Florida trip is for just fun in the sun, you know, having a great old time celebrating my boyfriend's birthday. That's it. I feel like really nothing has been going on too crazy. Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to start with life updates because I feel like life is the least interesting currently. But maybe it'll get more interesting as the year progresses. Moving on, let's do some YouTube updates. We have only missed, I believe, 1 Friday upload so far this year, which is a feat. Gotta pat myself on the back for that. For me, that feels like an accomplishment. At least I think I've only missed 1 Friday. You can come at me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was only 1. Currently, the sub count as of the date I'm filming this is 255. Wild and crazy. The next thing I've written down is what I want to try next quarter of the year to help me grow more. If you guys remember, at the beginning of this year, I told you I believe my goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. And as of right now, we're currently a quarter of the way there, which is crazy and awesome, and I'm so very thankful. What I really need to try to start doing, and is something I said in that other video when I told you guys my goal for the end of the year anyway, was I wanted to start posting more on other social media platforms about my YouTube videos, because really, truthfully, I think that's one of the main reasons that no one really finds content, is because I am a very small channel and I do a lot of like book related videos. I really should be branching out and uploading things on other platforms promoting my videos. So I'm gonna try. We're going to try and start uploading and promoting things on, I'm thinking maybe TikTok, because that's the place I feel the most like I just can do whatever the hell I want because it's just TikTok and who cares. So I'm gonna try to be a little bit more vocal about all of the content that I'm creating. So my goal for the next quarter is that by the end of the second quarter of this year, which the second quarter is April, May, and June, by the end of June, my goal is to try and get to 500 subscribers. If I don't reach it, who cares? It's not that big of a deal. It's just kind of a goal. It's kind of something to help me give a little bit of a fire underneath my butt. Even though most of my YouTube is solely for pleasure, I just enjoy making the content and making the videos and editing. Like, I enjoy the actual creating of the content. My whole view on YouTube isn't like I want to have, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I just want to enjoy the content, but I think it's also like I put so much work into this content. I would also like for other people to get to enjoy the hard work that I've put into these videos. So that's kind of what I'm gonna start trying to do is, promote myself a little bit more on other social media. I also want to start doing more frequent uploads, whether that be like YouTube shorts or like the little random Tuesday vlogs. Again, let me know if there's any kind of content you want to see from me. I would be happy to try my best to find cool ways to incorporate into some new video ideas. I would love to eventually do these sort of like mini podcast episodes with other people. I would have to get another microphone, which would be kind of a difficult feat to get through, but we will persevere and try our best. I would love to have my little brother, my sister, my brother-in-law. But other than that, I feel like YouTube, I'm feeling really happy with it. I'm loving the content that I'm making. I'm having a wonderful, amazing time all around the board. It's great. It's great. Here's the part of the video that I am the most excited for, but also not the most excited for, because I'm not exactly sure how I want to go about doing this. Welcome to the reading updates, everybody. Now, most of the books that I have read so far this year are in YouTube videos, mostly meaning that I don't need to inherently do wrap-ups every single month, so that's why I haven't been doing them. I haven't been making monthly TBRs or wrap-up videos because I kind of just want to be able to read whatever I want, and also I have the TBR takedown videos, and I do other kind of theme-centered reading vlogs, so I kind of already end up giving myself a TBR to follow anyway. There are some books here and there that I haven't spoken about on the internet that, I might want to, so depending on how I feel as I'm filming, I might give you guys wrap-ups on books, but we'll see. Starting off with how I'm doing with my reading goal. I'm doing fantastic. I am killing it on my reading goal right now. It's really been fueling the fire inside of me, because normally around this time of year, I start to kind of slump out of reading for a couple of weeks because I just get super busy. But with the fact that I'm filming so many reading-centered videos lately, and especially trying to work on my physical TBR and really, getting the number of books I have on my shelves that I haven't read down, I feel like I'm just so excited to read all the time. Like, it always just kind of feels like a game, and I just think it's so fun. We have, so far this year, read 22 books out of the 70 books I need to read for my reading goal this year. We are 31% of the way through our reading goal, and it currently says that I am 5 books ahead of schedule, which is wild. So in January, you guys got to see majority of the books that I read in different reading vlogs. I think every single book except for one in January I read literally in a video. I'm gonna throw up the graphic. I'm gonna make a little graphic for you guys, okay? I'm gonna throw the graphic up for you guys over here. So in January I read 7 books. The total pages read was 2,557 pages, which that is like a crazy number. Yeah, and I really don't feel like giving much insight on these books because almost every single one of these on this graphic that you guys are looking at, I don't know what it looks like now, but the graphic that you guys are looking at are all in reading vlogs. So if you want to see how I feel about these books and why I gave them the ratings that they have underneath them, you guys can go watch all of those videos. So yeah. Moving on, let's go to February. Okay, in February, again, I read 7 books, but this time the total was 2,489 pages, which, holy mother of Jesus, 2,000 pages is crazy. I believe the only book that I read in February that you guys got in a reading vlog was Deep End by Allie Hazelwood, because Allie is one of my #1 authors, and pretty much anytime she puts out a new release, I make a reading vlog reading just that book, because she is that special to me. Because every time Allie comes out with a book, I make sure to read it in a vlog by itself. Like, it gets its own video, solely because I love her so much. And yeah, that's it. I guess I could talk a little bit about these books because I didn't talk about them in any videos. I read The Do-Over at the beginning of the month. This was a reread. It's, again, a 5-star read. I wanted the Valentine's Day feels. And if you didn't know, The Do-Over by Lynn Painter is a book that is a Groundhog's Day-esque thing where the main character is reliving Valentine's Day over and over and over again, and she kind of has to figure out why she's reliving the day over and over again. And I absolutely love this book. Love this book. Then, of course, next to that is Deep End, because that's in the order I read The Do-Over, then I read Deep End. Then I ended up deciding to go back and basically finish the entire Eden's series by Devoney Perry. I went in just wanting to read Juniper Hill because I had read Indigo Ridge back, I believe it was in my Reading for 24 Hours video I did back in December. And I loved it. I actually bought the paperback. It's behind me right here. Because I loved it so much. So I was going into reading Juniper Hill, intending to just read Juniper Hill. And yeah, I ended up just literally reading all 5 that I had left in the series within the last, I want to say, like 2 weeks of February. I literally just read only Devoney Perry, and specifically just the Eden series. So I'm trying to decide which Devoney Perry book I want to pick up next, because I definitely think that Devoney Perry is starting to become a favorite author of mine, because hot damn, did I love every single one of these books. So there's that. I guess I'm not going to give you the ratings. You guys have eyeballs. You can read, right? You can read. I hope you can. And now we are here for our last and final month. I believe all of these books are either in videos or will be in a video that you guys will see soon. So I'm not going to give too much. So now we are in March, which is turning out to be one of my best reading months to date. I believe 8 is like a top contender for me. I think the most I've ever read in a month is like 10 books. So 8 is pretty good. We had some pretty solid reads this month. Some not so solid reads that definitely did not hit the way I thought they were going to. But this month, the total page count is coming to 3,454 pages. What? That is an insane number that it's almost hard for me to wrap my head around that. Like 3,000 pages. That's crazy. Okay, I've done the math. If you add up all of the total amounts of pages, which let's remind you really fast of all the totals of all the pages, which includes, so in January, we read 2,557 pages. Then you add February, which was 2,489 pages. And then finally, you add in there March, which was 3,454 pages. It crazily enough turns out to be 8,500 pages even. And that is if I can use a calculator correctly. I'm pretty sure that that's right. If not, I'm just a girl, okay? I used a calculator. If that's wrong, it means the calculator is wrong, not me, okay? When I saw that it was a perfect 8,500, I couldn't even believe it. I was like, there's no way that it perfectly works out to be 8,500 pages. That's crazy. Editing me, double check, put it in a calculator, make sure that we're right, because if I'm wrong, I will be a little bit embarrassed. But if I am wrong, that means the calculator's wrong, because I didn't do this by my brain. I did it with the calculator, okay? Okay. Let's talk about my favorite books from each month. How about that? You guys want to do that? Could that be fun? So something really crazy that I noticed when I was going through and like looking at all the books that I've read this year, this, that, whatever, I noticed that I have only had 1 5-star read this year so far. So yeah, you might be wondering, Sophia, you have another 5-star. You gave The Do-Over 5 stars. I don't count rereads that are 5 stars as like a that year 5-star read. I only count books that I read for the first time and give 5 stars within that calendar year to be a genuine 5-star read for that year specifically. So yes, I gave The Do-Over 5 stars, but that was a reread. So like, I knew it was going to be a 5-star. Oh, it just started thundering outside. Oh my God. So the only 5-star that I've had so far this year was The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, which is literally behind me. It's right here. I am definitely going to be doing within the next couple of months a like reading Riley Sager books video where I just read like a couple Riley Sager books, because he's shaping up to be a phenomenal author for me. I've given both books that I've read from him so far both 5 stars, which is The Only One Left and The House Across the Lake. And I've heard some mixed reviews on some of his other books, but I am not a very well-versed person in the thriller mystery genre, so I'm sure that I'm going to love all of them because I'm not very picky. But that's going to be my favorite from January, because of course it is, because it was my only 5-star read. For February, I think I'm going to pick Crimson River, which I believe is the 5th book. Don't quote me. I believe it's the 5th book in the Eden's series by Devoney Perry. This book I just liked more than the others, honestly. Like, truthfully and honestly. This is... Okay, yeah, I checked. I needed to make sure that I was right. This is the 5th book. My top 3 of the series is Indigo Ridge, Juniper Hill, and Crimson River, which is the 1st book, the 2nd book, and the 5th book in the series. But I think I'd say Crimson River is my favorite that I read in February. I just think it was the most, like... It almost gave thriller mystery vibes with a really good splash of romance within it. I just feel like that book like had my jaw on the floor like the entire time. I just really liked it. That's all I have to say about it. I don't really know what else to say. So that's my favorite from February. And then last and finally from March, I think I'm going to say my favorite book that I read in March is going to be Wildside. I just think that Wildside was so much fun. You will get to see more on the rating I gave that book and how I felt about that book actually in next week's video. So stay tuned for a more in-depth review of Wild Love. But that definitely was my favorite from March. Can't wait for you guys to find out why, but it was so good. So I'm not going to give too much of my thoughts. I already showed you guys the rating of the book, but anyways. I think that's everything really, guys. I don't really have much else to update you guys on. Hopefully the second quarter of 2025 will be as fun and hopefully will bring me a new job and bring me money again and all that jazz. So I am so excited for the next couple of months. We'll do another one of these little quarter 2 wrap-ups at the end of June, early July. And without further ado, that's all I gotta say for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, subscribing, liking my videos, everything like that. If you guys have anything you want to suggest for me to start doing, leave it down in the comments down below for me. I would love to hear any and all feedback from my lovely little peeps. And without further ado, let me wrap this up for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe down below. And don't forget to put on those post notifications so you get a notification the next time I post. And I will see you guys next time. Toodles! Dude, the thunder is crazy.